Hang on. He's crashed again. He's lost his half of his front wing. Alright, we back. It's alright. I can see the stream's back. Let me check Twitter to see if there's anything going on with the, like anything. Because it's very, very weird. My stream should not be ending like that. Retirement in the pits from ART. Crashed again. Yep. Very, very strict. If anyone, suboptimal. Exactly. If anyone can do any research to see what's going on, it's like AWS server or whatever's going on with, because WR is having issues as well. From what I saw, however, it might be unrelated. But I don't know. By the way, oh no, never mind. I didn't say anything. What? Or P9 and P10 are 4 seconds or 3 seconds behind P8. Randy Klein in new colours from GSR to IRT now, of course. Ahead of his teammate Simon Pfeiffer, leading the train of cars to pretty much the back. Thomas said to earlier, by the way, he is being caught quite quickly by Joe Marquardt. Joe Marquardt actually faster than pretty much anyone else on the track. TF10 was 97. What was pole? Pole, I believe, was a .1 from JST. 17.1. Scott Holmes actually going to have a go here at Joe Marquardt. And he is. Swap at SET as well, who've lost DRS. Chuli's into the pits. Very odd on to me. But he does what he wants. But now Tessa 2 and 3. Scott Holmes is an hour ahead of Joe Marquardt. And that might secure test 2-3 here. Because it might be a bit difficult for Joe Marquardt to get past both of these cars. Not gonna lie. I'm done. My head is. Apologies if I'm taking too long breaks, but yeah. Sometimes your voice as a solo comm is not very easy. Not gonna lie. I've been lonely, yes, for the past, couple of streams, but it's not very easy to solo comm. Especially I've got a bit of a knock nose as well, so. Anyway. Ooh! Ooh! Hold on! That wasn't a good exit at all from Scott Holmes, who's gonna get given a slipstream from his teammate, obviously. Joe Marquardt is now given a slipstream. He's now boxed in, full boxed. Way! Oh. Well, whatever's going on here. Whoa. I was going to say Thomas Hutto spun, But now he's just teleported. He's used the bloody Ender Pearl to get back past ahead of him. What? Cheating. Ref. Joe Marquardt. Big on the brakes. Go around the outside of Scott Holmes. That'll be a big, brave one. Scott Holmes having none of it. We're on board with Supply Raptor. And, well, Joe Marquardt has lost P4 again to Scott Holmes. Has got to find another opportunity to get past. He's not now 7.6 seconds behind JST. I think JST is very, very comfortable. He can have a go at winning the race. Joe Marquardt on the inside of Scott Holmes. Scott Holmes side by side with him still. Scott Holmes goes off the track, invites Supply Raptor now to the party. Joe Marquardt might lose DRS here. Joe Marquardt is backing up Scott Holmes and is letting Supply Raptor go on his outside. Here is Scott Holmes, who's going to settle for P5 right now. However, he's going to really need DRS. Joe Marquardt will not have DRS, and that might be Joe Marquardt's biggest mistake. The Speedy is there as well to pick up any pieces. Right. Supply Raptor, P3. Now Scott Holmes has got a dive bomb. Supply Raptor a bit. To turn number 1, he doesn't. Yeah, very, very interestingly. Supply Raptor, with all the tyres, stays ahead of now Scott Holmes. However, Joe Marquardt has lost now has gone down to 5th. Not ideal, chat. Especially if TF10 want these results today to be able to fight again. They need it. Can't be doing stuff like that. Joe Marquardt, let's go. Pick up the pace. Chop, chop. Not bad this angle actually. It's just a shame the model of Monza is so bloody outdated. Oh, Scott Holmes is struggling again after Parabolica. He was very slow out of Parabolica, and that's giving Joe Marquardt a chance. The Fly Raptors can't do anything about it. And is Joe Marquardt going to break later than Scott Holmes? They're still side by side into turn number 1. Scott Holmes resists the attack from Joe Marquardt, and they're still side by side. They haven't crashed together like Monza, like Hamilton and Verstappen in 2021. Joe Marquardt now takes P3 provisionally. But Scott Holmes is not done yet. Well, he's done now. Scott Holmes remains P4. Joe Marquardt now takes away P3. It is crucial that Joe will finish his P3 ahead of Scott Holmes. Very, very crucial. If not, why not try to go after Thomas to Elio? He is 3 seconds up the road. So he's got to be a bit careful, but anything can happen. Like JST, it's been a mistake, I think, or something like that, because he lost a bit of time to Thomas to Elio in the last couple of laps, I think. Like, if you have a look, have a look at his last few laps. 22.3, lap 21, 20.8. Yeah, so he lost a bit of time on that lap, or whatever happened there. The race is almost over, by the way. We are going to start lap 24 when JST crosses the line, which means there are only 4 laps to go after this one. That's not a long way to go, gents. And they're all pretty much almost in a line, waiting behind one another. So things might be about to get very interesting then. In these last few laps, will we see any terrorism? That's for them to figure out. JST continues to lose a bit of time now to Sunset Elia, maybe having pushed the tyres too hard. It's lucky, well, not what, kind of lucky. He's got a 6-second buffer. I said 6-second, alright? Buffer to Thomas Elia. However, Joe Marquardt is still fighting with Scott Holmes, so they're going to be still losing time to JST. And the gap now is down up to 4 seconds. Down now up. Alright. Now up to 4 seconds between Thomas Elia and Joe Marquardt. Thomas Elia is flying. And we've got a thing from last week again. How do you call a hungry hippo? The question I don't know the answer to. Actually, rage bait at this point. Unless it's the first time using it then. Alright. But, there's a more interesting one. Look at this. That's more interesting. Request a fact. There's a fact for you. Okay, well, I'm going to say Thomas Elia is completely flying right now. JST 123.0 last lap. Thomas Elia 128.1. He's getting over a second last lap. Request a fact. What was my fact going to be? And not that Scott Holmes is getting past Joe Marquardt. Side by side, a little bit of contact there. Oh, what? What happened there? Well, no Spiraptors alongside Joe Marquardt. This is disaster for TF10. This is not going well at all now. Joe Marquardt needs P3. Ooh! The dive bomb of the century to get back P4 ahead of Stuart Spiraptor. Fair enough. Right. Request a fact. There used to be 3 console tiers in this tournament when it was called AEC. Term is Esports Championship. There used to be Tier S, no assists. Tier 1, assists. Speedy 3 second. Oh no, that's going to drop him way down. All the way down to P13. That's a big shame. There used to be, right, Tier S, no assists. Tier 1, assists were very fast. And there used to be Tier 2. Alright? Tier 2 was just Tier 1, but slower. Pretty much. I raced in Tier 2 once or twice. For a GSR, actually. But yeah, that 3-tier system is not the same as the 3-tier system we've got now. Tier S and Tier 1 kind of still exists in the shape of Premier Tier and Artemis Tier. But obviously now we've got a PC Tier, which is new to the series. Which you're watching right now, of course. You already knew that one. Oh. And he just requested another fact. Spending his money then on making me have to think. What? Alright. Next season, I know round 1. Next season's round 1 starts with an M and finishes with an O. That's all I'm saying. And now that was a very quick request effect because we've got the last lap coming, and I'm not thinking after the checkered flag. If the next season is already going, there are a few uncertainties. However, we should maybe get some racing back on the way for another 15-round calendar. It is the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. JST is taking it super easy. Last chance for any terrorism you want. Like that. Where's he going? Formula Kai taking advantage. Mr. Joe Marquardt, it's your last chance, buddy. You've got the chance on the run to Ascari, or down, heck, even into the Parabolica, to make your podium move, mate. Tomasetto Elliott has chopped right off the gap between him and JST, by the way. This is one of your last chances, Joel. Let's get it. What are you going to bring for us? Is he going to send it? Oh, he is. Oh, no, he's not. Scaring. Skymes puts himself very, very, very tight. The Parabolica is not going to do it. Speedy has crashed at Parabolica. Not Parabolica. Ascari. John Marquardt is too far back. JST comes across the lines with TF10 to win the race. Tomasetto Elliott finishes second. Scott Holmes hangs on for third. And Joe Marquardt, who's definitely bottled that. Supply Raptor will be happy with fifth. In the scissors, sixth. Benjamin Listener, seventh. Rene Klein, eighth. Sam Pfaff, ninth. Joe Quinn Wheatley, 10th. Let Rescue, 12th. 11th. Formula Kai, 12th. Max Morrow, 13th. Smith, 14th. Sinan, 15th. Chuli, 16th. He's yet to cross line. And Speed, who has who has punctured after 17 or 18 laps across the line, which would be the same as Supply Raptor, or more, less than Supply Raptor, and the same as Tomasetto Elliott and Rene Klein. By the way, my second request effect is fully based on what I've been kind of told, but it might have been a joke. Alright? Don't take it serious. Thank you. Well, there is a good chance it could be a track that starts with an M and finishes with O. This time, well, if we get a new season, it'll be same time last year. Round 1, Monaco. Yeah. That was a track we got for round 1 before it became TTC. I wonder who won in TRS. I think the series' record, 29 seconds ahead of P2. Enough boasting about myself, because Max Morrow is absolutely on fire. We've not mentioned him once. But JST for TF10 has done everything he needed to do and has won the race. And as Tomasetto Elliott, who, he's nearly a 5-second gap actually to Scott Holmes and Joe Marquardt, so maybe he's not going to take a penalty. But Scott Holmes third, and Joe Marquardt, who's bottled it, finishes fourth. Think the points stay relatively the same. JST, obviously bringing the win, has brought TF10 some very good points. However, I don't think the gap has gone down by that much. Maybe like 7 odd points maximum. Would have been much better if Joe Marquardt finished third. But Splower up to fifth, and the rest, Scissor sixth. I already mentioned this already. Across the line. I'm not saying again. And that is it for Monza. We've got one more race coming at Abu Dhabi. Yes, the big Abu Dhabi. Next week, Premier Tier Wednesday. Artemis Tier Thursday. Top Tier, the best tier, because it has me as commentary, Friday. Same time next week. Same link. Same person probably. Same people. Same teams. Same championship fight. But that is it from me, because my voice is dead and I kind of want to go. Yeah, I've got better things to do. So, I don't mean that in an interesting way. 24 hours tomorrow. Anyway, 11 a.m. start as well. So bye-bye. Have a good one. Catch you next week.